Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Eli with Infinite Defense, and today we are doing our FAQ answers. I recently sent out an email to our list and had a bunch of you submit some questions that you had. I compiled a list from the most frequently asked question to the least, but I will be answering them all in this video. This will be a bit of a lengthy video, so please look below in the description to see a itemized list of the questions we're answering by timestamp. Stick with me and we will get to your questions. All right, number one, by a landslide, what is the estimated number of rounds that your targets can take? What's the warranty of your targets? Are there any rounds to stay away from? Will 450 Marlin work? Will tracers work? So let's start from the beginning. This is our full-size USPSA Infinity target. It is our most popular version by far. From our competitive shooters, we typically see about 7,000 rounds of use on average, with a variety of calibers, but a majority 9mm that can be shot through this thing until there's about a fist-sized hole in the middle, which can be repaired, and that is another question that I will be answering. But we guarantee 110 rounds of 5.56 per square inch. Obviously, you won't just be shooting 5.56 at it, so this is gonna vary based on caliber, shot placements, ammunition shape, but typically on a full-size target is about 7,000 rounds while aiming at center mass. So while most 7,000 rounds are gonna land in this C-zone area, our C-zone targets have a similar lifespan. What is the warranty of your targets? Our warranty is bottom line customer satisfaction. If your targets do not heal correctly, if they do not self-heal, if they do not last as long as expected. This could be due to a variety of factors such as calibers we haven't tested, specific training techniques, extreme weather conditions that we haven't tested, as well as defective targets that sometimes get sent out by mistake. The bottom line is, if you're not happy with your purchase, please reach out to customer service and we will get a target replacement to you or a refund. So if you go to the range and you only put 200 rounds of 9mm through your target and you're seeing a hole already or a couple of holes, please reach out, because it is my #1 priority to make sure you all get taken care of and that we give you a product that actually provides you value. So rounds to stay away from, typically large flat nose rounds like this 458 SOCOM, specifically 450 Marlin was asked about, which we would recommend not to use due to the large flat nose of the round, which goes for most lever guns, especially 45-70 government, which does more damage than a 50 BMG simply due to the projectile shape. Same goes for hollow points. These will act like a cookie cutter and chunk out some of the material. As well as in our directions, we explicitly state multiple times no hollow points, avoid flat nose, slugs, and incendiary rounds. Hollow points and large flat nose rounds will void the warranty, so we will not replace those targets due to user error. But we do have a pretty good video on how to fix those holes, which I will get to in a second. With that being said, our targets can handle any round from 17 HMR all the way up to 50 BMG. As long as it is a ball ammo, it is not a specialty ammo, flat nose, hollow point, etc. So 9mm ball, 5.56 ball. 5.56 hollow points will work because the hollow point is so small that it does not create any more damage. 300 blackout. Small polymer tipped rounds like this sharp 300 blackout, extremely pointy, small piece of polymer, those will work just fine. But large polymer tipped rounds similar to the 450 Marlin will cause extensive damage to the target. As long as the round is mostly closed tip and rounded off, you should be good to go. Even with this 30-06 soft point, those will work just fine. All right, the next question is, how can I extend the lifespan even further? Maintenance, can you patch holes? Yes, if you check our last video or possibly 2 videos ago on our YouTube channel, we made a video called How to Repair Infinity Targets, where we'll go step by step on how to plug hollow point holes, as well as targets used well past their intended lifespan. It's as cheap as a $7 bottle of silicone sealant from your hardware store or a can of flex paste, and you can well extend your target's expected lifespan way past that 7,000 round mark. As far as any other maintenance, there is none. They are completely weather and waterproof, so you do not need to leave them out of the sun. You don't need to scrape the paint. You can if you would like brighter hits. We had a comment saying that after they painted the target, the hits did not look the same as when they first shot it. That is simply due to the wet paints, as well as layers of paint building up over time. If you want the brightest hits possible, you're gonna wanna scrape all the target paint off, respray it, wait for it to dry. You're gonna get the highest visibility possible. Of course, we recommend our Infinity target paints. This is nothing special. It is simply white paint. It is water-based, so it is much easier to clean off. It covers a lot quicker, and it is a tad more weatherproof than most paints. But we made our targets to be as versatile as possible, so any paint, any color will work, as long as it contrasts with the base black rubber. Typically, we recommend Rust-Oleum 2X paint and primer, we do recommend it is a primer or a paint and primer. Rust-Oleum line spraying paint will work. So will Home Depot Behr brand. As long as it's not the $2 cheap cans of spray paints, which are just paint and they do not work well in general. They will work on the targets, but you will have to spray each spot a lot longer. But just a simple $6 can of Rust-Oleum from the hardware store or Walmart will work just fine. The next question is, how long will these targets last when exposed to direct sun and weather? How cold is too cold? So the beautiful thing about these targets is not only are they made in the USA, they are made from recycled products, specifically car tires. So if a tire can survive it, our targets can. They are completely UV proof, weatherproof, waterproof. You can leave them outside all year long. I actually have a pallet of targets on the side of my house right here that have been sitting there for about 3 years now that work perfectly fine. We have customers in all 50 states, from Hawaii to Alaska to Florida to Arizona. You name it, our targets are there and they're surviving the weather. A lot of our customers leave them outside on their own land year round, and we rarely see issues caused by weather. Next question, can you use infinity targets for archery? Can you use broadhead? The answer is yes, Mark. While these are not the best archery targets on the market, they will work for archery. We've done plenty of content on social media about it. They will catch the arrows up to 80 pounds with a field point or up to 70 pounds with a broadhead. The broadhead is a little tricky to pull out as you have to match up the blades with the holes or unscrew the broadhead. But if you already own an infinity target, they make for a great lightweight field target that you can bring on your hunt. Since they stow flat, they're completely weatherproof and they're pretty easy to set up. How to mount? Can I use screws? So each target is going to come with 2 of these spring clamps, so you can easily set up your target and attach it to 1x2s that'll fit into a standard paper target stand. My preferred method is to use construction screws and to just drill screws right into the target, into the wooden posts, because like I always say, the clamps are the real target and your friends are going to shoot those off before you know it. With construction screws, you don't have that issue, especially if you have a pickup truck. You can just throw your target with the sticks right into the back of the truck. But the clamps are nice if you're on the go or you have a smaller car that you need to break everything down to fit into. So it's easy setup, easy takedown. The clamps are for convenience, but I do prefer construction screws. How heavy is a USPSA target? What are the measurements of the target? So our USPSA target is going to weigh in at 8.6 pounds. It's going to be your standard USPSA zones in size. So it is 18 inches across and 30 inches tall. What is your most durable infinity target option? Best all-around target for self-defense. All of our targets are the same thickness. We do not make Gen 1 targets anymore. In fact, Gen 2 lasts about twice as long as Gen 1 targets. Plus they are thinner and lighter. With that being said, we do have specific target templates for self-defense, like our anatomical torso target. Our USPSA is a great option. Our IDPA, our threat target. They all mimic human silhouettes. They're about the size of an average human torso. As you see right next to these guys, it's about the same size. So I would definitely recommend using those in terms of self-defense. Or you can use our reduced size targets to simulate distance, especially if you want to get more bang for your buck. Like everyone says, aim small, miss small. Does your company offer military discount? Yes, we do. We offer military and first responder discount. Please reach out to contact@Infinity Targets with your credentials and we will get you set up with that discount. What stands do you recommend beside yours, if any? So the reason I created these targets were to be as universal as possible. I was not a fan of other self-healing target systems that needed a proprietary stand, which is why we went with the USPSA style target. It's gonna fit on your standard paper or cardboard target stand, which is why it comes with the clamps. As if you're already shooting USPSA targets, you most likely have a stand in the wood sticks, so you can just clamp your target right up there. We do sell our own adjustable infinity target stands, which are gonna fit our entire line of products, all the way from 8-inch wide targets to 24-inch wide targets. But we do simply offer that for a convenience aspect, as our targets will fit on any standard 18-inch wide target stand as far as the USPSA goes. All of our larger format targets are either 18-inch or 24-inch wide, so they will fit with your standard paper target stands. I did ask about blueprints to make stands, which I think is a great idea, and keep an eye out for a video on that shortly. Someone is asking about painting the targets different colors, specifically the TC47. We do offer stencils with the targets. We offer a C-zone stencil for our USPSA to highlight the A zones as well as the C zone. Our circle drill targets all come with a stencil to highlight each individual circle. We do not make one for the TC47 yet. If you would like a custom stencil for your specific target template that we don't make, please reach out to contact@infinitytargets.com. We'll get that handled for you. But as far as the lines not disappearing, which we're also asked about, the lines on all of our targets are engraved. These lines, which is why they do not disappear when you paint them. And we have never had one single issue ever in our 6 years worth of being in business and testing where the lines filled up with paint and disappeared. So that will not happen. You will not have to redraw or scrape out the lines ever. Do you sell infinity targets in stores? Yes, we do. We have plenty of dealers, especially in Arizona. We have a lot of dealers. If you go to our website on your phone and click the menu in the corner, there is a store locator button where you can find the store nearest you. And on desktop or laptop, you can find it at the store locator button in the top menu, where we have plenty of physical dealers such as Unlimited Ammo, Tactical Studio, Palmetto State Armory, as well as plenty of online dealers such as Amazon, Optics Planet. You can find them on TikTok, Walmart, eBay. And we are adding more physical dealers by the second, so keep your eyes peeled as we may come to a store nearest you. How do infinity targets compare to traditional paper or steel targets when it comes to visibility and feedback during rapid fire drills? So in terms of paper or cardboard, our hits are about 5 times more visible than paper or cardboard. As you can see, the large hit indicator that happens when the paint falls off, which is about 5 times larger than the diameter of the actual bullet. As far as sound signature, there is no sound signature unless you are shooting suppressed. They make kind of a snapping noise as the material tears. They're not going to give you your steel ping, which is why these make for such a great short to medium distance target. As you get your actual hit feedback, you can sight in rifles, you can score yourself, and you're not gonna get any ricochet or spalling like you would with a steel target. There is a reason we still sell steel, and that is because steel is a great long distance target with that audible feedback. But we do have plenty of shooters switching out their steel for infinity targets due to the fact that it is 7 times lighter than steel. So if you're getting real tired of carrying your 100-pound steel out 1,000 yards, it might be time to switch up to infinity target. And because of its high visibility hits, especially if you have a spotter or a spotting scope, it's gonna be really easy to see if you were on target or not. Oh, it's a long video. I'm sweating. What do they smell like? Simple answer, it does smell like rubber, especially in the hotter months. I do not recommend leaving these in a closed vehicle during the summer, as you will get into your vehicle and it's going to smell strongly of rubber. If you have a pickup truck, that's no issue. Just toss it in the back and it's not gonna be a problem. Or store it in your garage. If you have limited storage options, the nice part about these being weatherproof is that you can simply store them outside, as I store most of mine on a pallet on the side of my house, and we are in Phoenix, Arizona, so the sun's not gonna damage it at all. What is the difference between your targets and a rubber sheet? So essentially this is our proprietarily formulated version of a rubber sheet. Most rubber sheets are gonna be made out of crumb rubber and urethane binder. So it's not gonna be one cohesive piece, it's 2 chemical compounds. One's a binder, it's gonna be holding those pieces together, kind of like a granola bar. And as you know, granola bars are easy to tear or crumble up. If you've ever eaten a Nature Valley bar, you get crumbs everywhere. So 1, they're not only messy, but 2, they will not self-heal properly because the urethane itself is not self-healing. And that's what's spreading apart when the bullet passes through. As ours is completely revulcanized recycled rubber, so it has gone through a process of recreating those bonds, it becoming one homogeneous piece, so that it is completely rubber, just like a rubber band. It has those elastic properties which allow it to self-heal. And we've had plenty of people ask us how our targets self-heal, and my best example is a rubber band. You stretch it out, it goes back to shape. So that's the same process as a bullet passes through the target, it tears, stretches out, and goes back to shape, closing into a microscopic hole that you can just paint over. Can you make 3D targets for archery? While all our targets are approved for archery, we do not make 3D targets of any kind at this time. Making 3D targets is going to be too expensive. We do not see ourselves doing so at any time in the future, as our mission as a company is to provide as much value as we possibly can to our customers, and that's to be as effective as possible, make our targets universally adaptable, which is why we like our 2D style, which we're able to use with standard target stands. They won't need a proprietary stand. They're easy to transport, they're easy to mount, and it's a great platform to allow us to do as much target templates as possible and to cater as many different shooting styles as possible. Are our products made in the USA? Yes, they are. Every single target is made in-house in Phoenix, Arizona. Our warehouse is in North Phoenix in the Deer Valley area. Before that, it was out of my garage in Peoria, Arizona, and before that, it was out of my dad's garage in Glendale, Arizona. All of our materials are sourced from the US, besides some of our metal products like our clamps, but all the rubber is sourced from the US, and it is all made in-house in Phoenix, Arizona. All 3 business partners live in Arizona, and all 7 of our employees live in Arizona as well. So it is made in America by Americans. We are very proud of that fact, and we do not see that changing in the future ever. I appreciate you all for watching. If you have any other questions, please leave them down in the comments, and I will be sure to answer them all as best as I possibly can. But if all your questions are answered and you're ready to pick up some infinity targets, go ahead and do so at infinitytargets.com, or you can go down in the description, click the link to hop on our email list, and wait for our next holiday sale. As always, it was a pleasure, and I will see you guys in the next one.